check out our new merch store at www.ShotOfFactsPodcast.com, where you can find our merch with shirts dedicated to each episode you love. Check it out today and support a Shot of Facts merch. Welcome to A Shot of Facts. This is your girl, Deja Renee, and this episode is a shot of music therapy with Just Wayne. Now, Just Wayne
What's
is a
the
gospel
deal?
music artist, yes, from Detroit. I'm from Detroit too. And
Yes, yes.
he strives to help people reach personal goals and overall build relationships with music. And also, his newest mixtape, Take Notes, is scheduled for release November 28th. So,
Yes, yes, ma'am.
yes, so Wayne, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I couldn't be better. I'm blessed for sure.
That's what's up. Me too. Look, I try to sometimes I catch myself complaining about things and I realize that how blessed I am. And I realize that it's selfish for me to be complaining about the little things the way I do. So that's something I
Man,
try to change for myself every day.
yeah. I mean, this whole year has made a whole turnaround for me as far as the outlook of life. Like, I caught myself complaining so much last year that I caught enough hell this year to understand, like, God is the only peace in my life. So my outlook on life is so different right now.
No, seriously. Like I didn't even at first with all of this COVID stuff came out. I got to be real. I wasn't taking it serious. I just
Hmm.
thought that this was like fear mongering, which I kind of still believe in that a little bit. But at the same time, I actually know people who caught COVID and people who died. So I'm like, I'm lucky to be in good health right now. Like people are taking
Yeah.
advantage of that.
Yeah, and that right there is the most underrated thing ever, to make it from when this whole thing started to now, to still be living with no type of sickness or anything. That's a whole blessing in disguise that people really don't, that's people really not cherishing right now.
Right.
So my whole plan right now is to get people to understand, like, y'all are set up for the greatest comeback in y'all life right now in this point. And if y'all don't see the small blessings on your way to it, then you would never see the big promise of it.
Facts. Facts. Now let's talk about more so music and music therapy as a whole. So you and I both know that in music, in black culture, hip hop, R&B, black people are the blueprint when it comes to
Mhm.
music. There are some positive and negative messages that come through with our music influencers. So
Right.
my first question to you is how do you feel or can you point out some of the positive and negative aspects particularly in the black community when it comes to music?
Um, I'm gonna start with the negative first. The negative that I can pull from it is that a lot of people not trying to give the right message. Like, off camera, you would meet an artist and they can be one of the sweetest people you can meet. They can give you all the positive information in the world. But during the music, that touched more people versus one person in public. You know what I'm saying? And I truly believe that music carries spirits. So if you giving
Yes.
out all the spirits of selling drugs and killing people and all of this, it gotta come back to you some type of way if you putting that out there in the earth. And then you gotta be mindful of all the spirits that you latching this onto. So that's the some of the messages that people give out are very negative. And the positive that I can pull out from it is that you got some artists out here who are really trying to give positive messages, whether it's music, poetry, whatever you do, and it's positive. That's the positive I can pull from it. But I really can't say nothing too positive about the music that I hear nowadays because it's all the same. Like, I
Yes.
can't pull nothing from it.
Yeah, I can agree. And it's kind of, I just had this conversation with a friend actually, how, the whole thing with sex sales or just these negative
Mm-hmm.
stereotypes sell in our business, but it's like, who put that in place to begin with? And now it's
Exactly.
right, because now it's like people, especially like rappers, for example, male and female rappers, they
Mhm.
think they got to have this persona just to make it into the industry. And it's kind of true. It's kind of true.
It is true. It is true that you got to have an image to make it into that industry, but they forget who they are and they become that industry. And now you got people controlling you who never was supposed to be in that position to control you. That's why I feel as my artist, I'm staying independent. That's why it's taking me a little bit longer than somebody who can go make a stupid song and get millions for it. It's taking me a little bit longer because I'm actually putting work into my craft. I'm actually sacrificing, partying, hanging out, all this stuff to really become what I need to become. And nowadays, people not doing that. They just going for a quick dollar and fame.
Now, can you explain a little bit what is the difference between going independent and being on like a label or what have you?
Um, from my experience, I can't really say too much. All I know is from big labels and major artists that I pay attention to, the advice that I really seen that they would give out during videos and stuff would be independent is owning your own stuff. Own every single thing that you have. It don't matter what it is. Make sure your name is on it. Make sure you stay independent. I'm not saying don't go out and get distribution deals and nothing like that, but I would never sign to like a major label because the most they're gonna do is throw you a big chunk of money.
All
But
right.
in the long run, they're still eating. They are gonna still eat off of what you made, regardless. And you won't be able to see none of that because you accepted what was due at you beforehand. So I most definitely tell all the artists that I run into to stay independent for sure.
Definitely. And that goes back into what we was just previously talking about, how like the labels basically make the artists act this way, have this persona because
Mm-hmm.
they're the people that's paying them. So
Mm-hmm.
it pays the cost to be the boss, I guess. You gotta adhere to what they saying so that you can keep getting your coins from this label. And
Man.
yeah, it's sad to see. Like, even I'm not even gonna name drop some artists, but like I see some artists like before they signed with a label. Like I for me, it's usually I like artists before they sign because their music
Man.
is more authentic.
Yeah, you can tell when they starting to change. And there's nothing wrong with evolving. But when you stop being who you are for a dollar bill, then you lost me. You lost
Right.
me. For material things, all of that. When you stop being who you are, you lost me as a fan. Cause you ain't sticking to your word.
For real. It's so many people. But
Man.
let's go into more about social awareness and therapy through music because you are a gospel artist and
Yeah.
I like to say you're not really a conventional gospel artist because when you think of gospel, you think of like the church singers and stuff. Like a lot of people don't even really be hip to gospel rappers like that.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't realize the message that gospel rappers send. Like your music is still like still got the hard beat to it, still
Mm-hmm.
got, everything that comes with regular hip hop music, but you actually saying a message. So, what
Yeah.
is your opinion about social awareness, bringing a message and talking about mental health throughout music?
Okay, well, with my music, the first key is God, automatic. That's the only place, that's the only person who can help you mentally get through a lot of stuff that you go through. Because like I said, it go back to the message that you put out in music. If you're not used to hearing certain music and this is just something you repeatedly listen to, you become that and it messes with your mental. So now you lose who you are and you become something that you aren't. And it started to weigh on you. It started to bother your mental. You stop believing in yourself because now you get caught up in what other people got and they ain't and you ain't got it. So with my music, I try to give a message that regardless of what you go through, God still have to be number one. And I done proved that multiple times with situations I done been in. So I like to give people hope with my music. The same way you can hear a Sada Baby song where you will hear it and you will get hype is the same way I'm coming with gospel music. Only difference is I'm putting on for God and they
Mm.
represent something else. That's the only difference. But I'm still making sure it's still enjoyable. It's still able to give you a message and you can bop to it. That's the type of music I love.